How we doing, Ross?
Yeah, 2 minutes.
You're a funny guy, man.
I didn't expect him to turn up so soon. He messaged me before, he's like, can I drop them off? I was like, yeah, sweet. In like an hour.
Sweet.
Okay, so we're ready? We might as well crack on. Here we go. Hi, my name is Willow. Welcome to the Distorted Transmission. Today I'm talking to Auckland band Just One Fix. How are you guys?
Good, thanks, bro.
Good.
This has taken a really, really long time to sort of get together. It's taken us about half an hour to get all of our shit together. So we have kind of talked everything out of the box already. But for the benefit of everyone watching, who's who in the band? Let's sort of start there.
Riccardo, I sing. Ross, you can tell people what you do, I'm sure.
I'm Ross, I'm the drummer.
Hit things. And then we got Sean is the guitarist and Ant is the bass player.
Okay, so you guys have been around since forever. Could you give me a brief blurb about when the band began and the environment that the band was born into? What was it like back then?
I'll let Ross take this one. No, Ross has only been in the band for 3 years. I won't do that to you. The band, I think, was December 98 it started. So, yeah, a long time ago. But I wasn't in the band initially. I joined at about 2003, I think. 2003, 2004, somewhere around there. So, yeah, I joined, and there'd been a bit of upheaval because originally it was a 5-piece. When I joined, it was a 4-piece. When I joined, Sean was the only original member from that 5-piece that had started in 98. So when I was in the band, when I joined the band, G Force was the drummer, and we had a guy called Vinny playing bass. And yeah, it changed a lot since then. I mean, Vinny didn't last too long. He had a few demons he needed to battle, so we ended up getting Anton on bass, who's our bass player now. He's been and gone a couple of times, but yeah, that's kind of when it started. And I mean, around that time was the end, I guess you would say, of the thrash golden age to an extent, and it was when new metal was really coming in. It's a thing where the band had a few really good opportunities early, like opening for Megadeth at the St. James and stuff like that. But really, because, I mean, Sean's a guitar player, he writes all the riffs and stuff, and he's just a thrash head through and through, so there was never really too much deviation. I mean, I think, if you listen to us, you'll be able to tell. Ross's drumming has certainly helped that, but we've kind of taken on some deathier elements, and there's a couple of songs, off the last album that had kind of some doomier kind of things going on. But yeah, pretty much just trucked on through and kept it true to the kind of the thrash thing, really.
So the band has a new track, which is why we're chatting today, really, entitled Gods and Devils, that dropped a few weeks back, produced by the Mighty Dave Rhodes too, which was a nice touch. What's the track about?
It's I got the idea off a French philosopher called Denis Diderot, who was around in the 18th century. And he had one of his primary tenets of his philosophy was that man would never truly be free until the last king was strangled with the entrails of the last priest. So it was basically about voiding control and how religion particularly, and then, obviously it was monarchy then, now more government based, is control and being free of that control and being able to liberate yourself from sort of, I guess, closed-minded thinking and things like that. So that's kind of lyrically where we've gone with the song.
The last release was a single back in 2017 called Death in the Family, and the last full album release was Let Them Hate So Long As They Fear back in 2014, which was quite a while ago. With another 2 albums in 2010 and 2007, respectively. So you seem to plan to sort of drop EPs or albums around the 4-year mark. I know that, like, the one that you dropped in 2017 was meant to be an EP, and it sort of kind of fizzled out. So you mean to drop a large body of work about every 4 years. So I would guess that you're about to drop another body of work. Is that correct?
Yeah, we got an EP coming out. Sorry, I paused because I was like, is Ross going to say something? No. Okay.
Ross can take this one if you like.
All right. So we've got 4 new singles coming out that are going to be part of the EP called Submit or Death, which is due out in May.
Yeah, so how's your new drummer settling in? It's been about 3 years now. You planning to keep him on?
Well, yeah, I think so. Yeah. No, we did go through a period. I mentioned earlier that G was the drummer when I joined, and she played on the first album, but then her and Ant got married and decided to have a family, so they both left. And then we had Lee and Martin come in as a rhythm section. They were for the next 2 records, Blood Horizon and Let Them Hate. And then they both left and went to London. And then we had Steve Bernstein for a little while from Metal Tower. He played with us, and then we had another guy, Warren, who played with us for quite some time. He played on Death in the Family and was going to play on the CP, but then he decided he wanted to buy a house and he couldn't do it in Auckland, so he moved to Papamoa, and then it wasn't going to really work out. So we needed to find someone else, and voila, there was Ross. So we got ourselves a death metal drummer because we thought we needed to be heavier, and he seems to be working all right so far. We don't want to be too Spinal Tap. We don't want to keep blowing our drummers up, so we want to keep this one for as long as we can.
So Ross, from your perspective, how's it going in the band? It's been 3 years now, so obviously you've settled in and you're comfortable in the band. But how's your position in the band going?
Yeah, I've been enjoying it. It's nice to play a bit of good old school thrash metal rather than the death metal that I tend to be playing a lot more that I was playing with Silent Torture before, and step away from Enoch as well that I was also in. So it's good to get back to the old school death thrash metal.
Are you fitter now because we play faster?
Oh, it's probably about the same in terms of speed.
Okay, so the next thing on your agenda, I guess, is a gig Saturday, March the 2nd with Imperial Slave, supporting 2 overseas bands. I think it's Angelus Apatrida. I'm terrible at
Apatrida, I think it is.
Thank you, Angelus Apatrida and Hidden Intent, respectively. I thought they were both Aussie bands, actually, when we were chatting before, and you pointed out that Hidden Intent is, but Angelus is from where, would you say?
They're Spanish.
Okay.
So they're kind of like a Spanish creator. That's kind of what they sound like. They've got a real creative vibe. So I hadn't heard of them before we got offered the gig, and I was just like, so I went and bought their latest album off Bandcamp and downloaded it. And yeah, it's really fucking good, man. Really good. So looking forward to playing that show. And I know Ross is certainly a big fan of Imperial Slave, so he's looking forward to jamming with those boys.
Yeah, they're good too.
Do you know the full details for the Auckland show? Do you know where it's going to be?
Yeah, it's at Whammy Bar. It's us. We're on with, and then Imperial Slave, because originally it was going to be a part of Imperial Slave's album release tour, and then these couple of internationals wanted to play a show, and that date was taken. And the venue kind of went, oh, hey, we've got these internationals want to play that date, and so Sam was like, do you guys mind if we put 2 internationals on and we end up being openers? And we're like, nah, fuck, that sounds cool. Let's do it. So yeah, it should be a mega show. I think we're playing 30 odd minutes. So I imagine Imperial Slave will be the same. And then the other 2 will probably play an hour each or something like that. So yeah, it should be a fucking massive night of metal. Should be great.
Yeah, that's a pretty long night. Cool. All right. Speaking of long nights of metal, we both played the Blitz Metal Fest about a week or so ago in our respective bands, along with a wide array of other bands. I think there were about 9 in total over the course of one single day. You guys got the last slot, so it was kind of late. How was the show from your end?
Hot.
Man, a few words.
It's times like these where I go, why do we invite the drummer to do the interviews?
I don't know why.
But no, it was hot. How did you find the magic brick, Ross?
Yeah, that left a good, decent extra bit of space there to sit, not being squashed into the wall completely.
I got a breeze block, like just a standard block brick concrete thing, and I put like a bit of rubber on one side of it and just like glued it on with no more nails. And I take that to Ding Dong or Dead Witch every time I play, because my bass drum is quite deep, and it's quite cramped up there. So I put the brick in front of the drum riser, and then I can shift the drums forward, making a bit more room for the drummer in the back. I've actually left it at Ding Dong now. It's actually permanently there.
Yeah, has it got a plaque on it? It's got like the Will Blood Fund Memorial block.
It doesn't. It's a communist communal block. It's for the people.
It's an Eastern block, you might say.
Oh, well done.
Thank you. But yeah, no, it was a good show, man. I don't know what you thought. Well, you played it as well. Your set was fucking awesome. I love watching Tira set play. So 9 bands is always a long day, but no, it was great. And like as Ross so verbosely said, it was hot. But yeah, no, had a great night, and it was I thought it was really good because it was just such a different mix of bands, like House of Alcy, right? Who's a band that I'd heard of but never seen before. They kind of had a real power metal vibe going on, and Frank has got an amazing voice. So I was kind of really impressed with those guys because I'd never seen them before. So it was good because it wasn't all just like 9 death metal bands or 9 thrash bands. It was a real mixture of metal styles, which I think is what makes a good festival.
How is the band set for the rest of the year? Are there any other things on the calendar?
Do you want me to answer this one, Ross?
Yeah, you can go and answer that one.
Okay, all right. So we've got a second single out March 15, which is called "Your Own God Now," and then we'll have another single. Probably, I'm just waiting to hear back from the DRM guys, but probably end of April, and then we'll drop the EP after that. We've also tentatively got support for a big international that's coming, but can't really say too much more because it hasn't officially been announced yet. And then second half of the year, we want to look to get around the country, play a bunch of shows, and potentially Australia as well. We're just talking to a couple of people about some Aussie festivals going in the next summer.
That's about all we had to cover. Is there anything else you'd like to add to the end of the interview?
Yeah, just look out for Submit or Death. Like I said, we're just still working on an exact release date, but it'll be end of April, beginning of May. We'll have Your Own God Now and Thorns as singles out before then as well. So head to Spotify, head to YouTube, give it a like, give it a download. That'd be fucking awesome. We'd muchly appreciate it.
Ross, is there anything you'd like to add to the interview?
Big thanks to Dave Rhodes for all the work he's put into everything. And thanks for everybody that's checked out the new single so far. It's been doing pretty good, so we're pretty happy about it.
Thanks very much for chatting with me tonight. All the best with the EP release and the gigs. And I guess I'll catch you around. Cheers.
Cheers, man. Will do. And appreciate your time. Will appreciate you doing the show and supporting local metal.
Catch you later, Ross. Bye, Ross.
Catch you later. Cheers for having me.
Cool. And thanks for watching.